Thank you, Cole. Our next speaker is going to actually turn the tables a little bit and show you a different side of forensic activities entirely. Forensics competitive events are broken down into platform events and limited preparation events and interpretation events. What you've seen in the first two speakers are examples of platform events. And they're called platform events because traditionally public speakers would stand on a platform and deliver their speeches. Limited preparation events are similar to platform events in that you're still delivering an original speech, but you have a limited amount of preparation time. Extemporaneous speaking and impromptu speaking are examples of that. Unfortunately, we don't have any examples of that for you this afternoon, but we do have an example of the third genre of forensic activities, and that is oral interpretation. And the specific example we have for you this afternoon is something called programmed oral interpretation. And what oral interpretation is, if you haven't been exposed to it before, is the performance of literature. Not original literature by the speaker, but rather literature from another author that the speaker interprets and brings to life in front of you. Much like an actor would on the stage, but in a much more intimate way and in a much more connected way with their audience in an oral interpretation performance. The other thing you're going to notice about Emily's performance, the program oral interpretation you're going to see in a moment, is that she's using a black binder that has a script in it. While she might not refer to that script or black binder very often, the black binder, or the use of a script, is required in competition, even past the point where a speaker has the interpretation memorized, simply because the binder is a symbolic representation of the author and the author's presence in the performance. And it's one thing that sort of makes us different than acting on a stage. Programmed oral interpretation is the kind of interpretation that mashes up or combines different genres of literature to create a theme or, more specifically, to support an argument. In oral interpretation, even prose, poetry, dramatic interpretation, the performer's intent is still to argue a point, to make a case, to communicate a message. And in program oral interpretation, the interpreter gathers information, or literature rather, from different genres of literature, poetry, prose, drama, combines them and intersplices them, weaves them together like the teeth of a zipper, in order to present a message and to communicate an argument. Our example of programmed oral interpretation this afternoon, it comes to us from a sophomore. She is a broadcasting and digital media major from Brandon, South Dakota. Please make Emily Bartman welcome.